Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week we catch up with former top Korean shuttler Kim Ji-hyun to find out about her role in developing talent in less established nations. And we're in Dubai as we report on how Saina Nehwal is using her star power to aid the growth of the sport.
Again! Yes! Whoa! Again! Follow through! Yes! Nice!
This is Coach Kim Ji-hyun, or affectionately known as Super G for her boundless energy on and off the court. She is a former Korean women's singles shuttler with a career high of second in the world ranking and was part of the winning women's team in the 1994 Asian Games. G's playing days may be behind her, but she is a familiar face on the sidelines. The Busan-born shuttler was part of her country's coaching entourage in the 2010 and 2012 Uber Cup finals and the 2012 London Olympics. Her coaching resume also includes the New Zealand national team and the Oceania Player Development Program. When Badminton Unlimited caught up with her in Auckland, she was doing what she loves best: coaching.
코치라는 직업이
I think being a coach is like being a doctor. A doctor gives us medicine when we are sick. We go see a doctor when we're not feeling well. So does a coach. When I watch my players play in the competition, I will always look at their weaknesses and I will work out how I should train them to win. I will look at their tactics or their mental or physical strength. Anything that is wrong or can be improved. At the same time, being a coach is never boring. I'm always thinking and on the move. It's very interesting. I enjoy my job very much.
코칭이란 직업이 지루하지가 않아요. 너무 재밌어요.
Initially interested in track and field, she made the switch to badminton after being introduced to it by a friend. G was a natural. Her impressive results at the international events alerted the senior national fold.
한 2년 정도
I spent 2 years as a junior before I was promoted to the national team. I had real difficulty playing with the seniors because they were really good. But when I overcame that, I knew I could be one of the best players.
있었던 것 같습니다.
Although she was one of the younger players on the national team, G wasn't treated any differently. She was expected to joust with some of the world's best women shuttlers, from Indonesia's Susi Susanti to Denmark's Camilla Martin and China's Ye Zhaoying. These were tough times for a shuttler learning her trade, but she was undaunted and soon began to excel.
처음에는
There were a lot of players who gave up due to mental and physical stress. For me, I just endured and persevered. I always believed in myself that I could do it. I think that was the key to my success.
있다는 생각을 가지고 했기 때문에 제가 한 것 같아요.
Her consistency on court saw her climb to number 2 in the world ranking in women's singles in 1996. G's determination, skill, and her will to win also brought her reward, as she made it to the 96 Atlanta Olympics and then the 2000 Sydney Olympics. But her appearances at the Summer Games were bittersweet.
제가 생각에는 올림픽이
The playoff match in the 1996 Olympics was the most memorable game for me because it was actually a really frustrating game and I felt I could have done better.
남는 경기라고 생각하기 때문에 그런 것 같습니다.
G decided to retire from international competition after the 2001 Korea Open. The years spent on court were taking a toll on her, and also she wanted to pursue her studies.
운동을 끝나고
After I retired, I studied English abroad. It wasn't easy, but I had the patience and always tried to achieve my goals, no matter what.
언제든지 끝까지 입가게 물고 하는 게 있어서
Her educational stint took her to New Zealand, where her love for the sport saw her taking up coaching duties on a volunteer basis. But in the late 2000s, the former Olympian signed on as Korea's women's singles coach and was part of the Uber Cup winning side in 2010.
2010년 유버컵은
Uber Cup in 2010 gave me the best memories. My players achieved such great results, which I myself couldn't as a player. I was very proud to have coached such a great team. I've always said that having a good team is better than having a best player. As a team, all the coaches, players, and staff, we all work together to be successful.
모든 팀이 융합돼서 그 경기를 이뤘던 것 같습니다.
After spending a few years with Korea's national side, Ji returned to New Zealand. For the past 1.5 years, her role as the Oceania Player Development Head Coach has opened doors to players outside of Australia and New Zealand.
세계 오시아니아 애들을 가르치는 정말 재밌어요.
I'm very happy to teach the people of the Oceania region because they really love badminton and are passionate about the sport. They keep on practicing and improving themselves. So I always think that if we give them more chances to play, it would be really good for them in the future.
이런 선수들한테 기회를 더 주면 얼마나 더 좋을까?
The 40-year-old is well known among the badminton circle as players and organizations seek out her services. The Asian Games gold medalist is constantly on the go, fulfilling her coaching responsibilities.
배드민턴은 작은 세계여서 모든 사람들이 다
Actually, the network and connection in the badminton world is very small. So even if you go to other countries like Denmark, France, Korea, China, Malaysia, and so on, the people know who I am, Korea's Coach Ji. They said I'm the one who gestures and shouts a lot. And also when I coach, I try a lot of various ways, interesting ways to do things. Of course, I will work the players really hard as well. I try to do things in really entertaining and energetic ways. I think this is why people can remember me and want me as their coach.
아무래도 더 잘 모든 선수들한테 잘 알려지는 것 같아요.
Super G will be returning to Korea next year as the country's junior coach. Her experience and knowledge will be a welcome addition to the development of the stars of tomorrow. Badminton Unlimited wishes her all the best as she embarks on the next stage of her journey. Let's test your badminton knowledge. We want you to name the player who won her first Yonex German Open Grand Prix Gold title in 2014. The answer after the break. We're in Dubai next as Saina Nehwal lends a hand in the development of the sport in the UAE. Before the break, we asked you to name the player who won her first Yonex German Open Grand Prix Gold title in 2014. The answer is Sayaka Takahashi. The Japanese shuttler fought back to defeat Korea's Sung Ji-hyun in 3 games, 21-17, 8-21, 21-12 at the German Open. It was the first time a women's singles player from Japan had emerged as champion at this event. Her sister, Ayaka, also triumphed in women's doubles with Misaki Matsutomo to complete a successful tournament for the Takahashi sisters. The inaugural edition of the Dubai World Superseries finals last December was a resounding success. Badminton brilliance aside, as one of the world's iconic sporting capitals, hosts Dubai delivered some glitz and glamour to the competition. The build-up to the season-ending event also saw some of the most recognizable faces in world badminton help drive interest in the sport in the Emirati. Momentum has already gathered pace for this year's installment, and recently it was the turn of women's singles world number 1 Saina Nehwal to give her star support.
Dubai is one of my favorite cities in the world. I used to play events in all around the world, but never got a chance to play in Dubai. So last year when I saw that Dubai is hosting the Super Series finals, so it was like a surprise. Last year Dubai also had Chenlong coming in, Tago coming in. In doubles also we had world number 1 coming in and giving them good advice. So if some people come and give them good advice like this, that to top stars, I'm sure they also get a lot excited, they get inspired, and they also want to listen what they're saying.
India's badminton darling was in the desert city when we caught up with her. Away from the courts, Saina has been raising the profile of the sport. The 25-year-old was in town doing exactly that, whilst getting a chance to see the best of the city.
Well, we're taking Saina around Dubai, in particular the sporting destinations. So we're having her running on the beach, playing tennis, golf, cricket, and really showing her the sporting life that is in Dubai and the extraordinary facilities, the world-class facilities we have here. Saina's just an amazing person and an amazing player. Obviously she's now world number one, which is hugely exciting. But she had a massive impact when we had the finals here for the first time in Dubai last year, the World Superseries finals. She was the crowd's favourite, it was absolutely clear. And so from that point on, we were desperate that she should come here and really see the brilliant side of Dubai and help us to really explain that to the world.
Dubai has grown in stature as the destination for top-flight sporting tournaments. Organisers are more than happy to add one of badminton's premier events to their portfolio. And from the players' perspective, it has been a fantastic move.
I think it's a great start for badminton here in Dubai. After the Super Series finals, I can see the interest is also growing. I always had that, feeling of going to Dubai, playing there, and visiting the city because it's really nice. And everyone who used to come from here used to tell me, Saina, Dubai is really nice.
So last year was the first time that we put on the Dubai World Super Series finals. It's the first time that a major badminton event has taken place in Dubai. So we were learning, but I think we hit the ground running. We had a fantastic tournament with special play, and it is an amazing facility that we host the finals in, the Hamdan Sports Complex.
But it wasn't all about the elite of the sport, as the world number one lent her hand to some grassroots activities. Shuttle Time Dubai is a BWF initiative which focused on developing the game in the Emirati. When Saina arrived, there were a number of Shuttle Time events going on, including the first ever schools championships and badminton challenge. It didn't take long before she jumped into action, coaching and demonstrating her skills to the awestruck kids.
The sport is growing here in Dubai and in UAE in general because of the Super Series finals and because of Shuttle Time Dubai. It is very important that we structure a tournament for the schools, and this will motivate the students, will motivate the schools to further develop the sport at the school level. And having the superstar like Sanya Nehal, she's the world number one now. And once the kids see her, gets to play a little bit, autograph, it will motivate and inspire them to lifelong participation in the sport.
It's interesting, and I can understand what they're feeling because I still learn a lot from the top players. Like as I said, Roger Federer is my favorite sports person. They have very good coaches who are supporting them here, and the facilities are also very nice. They should have that belief in themselves that they can also be the best in the world.
With her blistering form this season, there's little doubt that Saina will be in Dubai at the end of the year for the showpiece finale. And that can only be a good thing for the sport in the Emirati. The World Super Series returned to the BWF International Circuit after a mid-season break. Some of the world's top shuttlers descended on Sydney last week for the Star Australia Open, hoping to grab a share of the $750,000 prize money. We start with the mixed doubles as Hong Kong's Chao Hui-hwa and Lee Chun-hei took on Liu Chen and Bao Yi-sin. Chao and Lee had lost in 3 previous meetings with their Chinese opponents, but looked determined to stem the tide as they pressured and hurried Liu and Bao to take the first game. They looked odds-on to complete the straight-game win, but anxiety crept in, and the world number 5 pairing took advantage to square the match. No such worries in the decider, as Chao and Lee regrouped to take the match 21-19, 19-21, 21-15. It was an all-China final in the women's doubles, as Ma Jin and Tang Yuanting took on Tian Qing and Tang Jinghua. In a tight first game, it was Ma and Tang who prevailed as they won it 21-19. The new partnership of Tian and Tang fought back in the second as they dominated to even the scores. But it was Ma and Tang's energy and know-how that won the day and match as they triumphed 21-19, 16-21, 22-20. On to the men's singles as Victor Axelsen and Chen Long took to the court. The young Dane had never beaten the world number 1, but having defeated his more experienced countryman Janno Jorgensen in the semi-finals, he was in a buoyant mood. The first game was all Chun though, as he took it with ease, 21-12. Axelsen fought back in the second as he showed off his rapidly progressing game to make it all square. It was a tighter affair in the third, but Chun's composure and experience shone as he won it 21-12, 14-21, 21-18. In the women's singles, Carolina Marin took on former world number 1 Wang Shuxian. The Spaniard has been in devastating form of late, and it showed throughout this match. A close first game was won by the All England champion. In the second, she controlled the flow of the points before completing the win in straight games 22-20, 21-18. The men's doubles concluded the day as Korea's Lee Young-dae and Yu Yeon-sung took on Liu Cheng and Lu Kai from China. The reigning Australian Open champions were in a ruthless mood, and there was nothing their opponents could do about it. Their trademark quick reflexes and explosive finishes were on display as they took the match in straight sets. The 21-16, 21-17 win meant they were the only defending champions of the tournament. Next week we're in Jakarta as the World Superseries continues at the BCA Indonesia Open. After the break, we catch up with Swedish #1 mixed doubles pair Jonathan Nord and Emilie Fabrecha as they tell us about the challenges they face in their country.
Jonathan Nord and Lennartson. Yeah, that will do it. 21-18, 21-11.
We beat a strong pair in the first round from Indonesia, and we were very happy about that. And we put a lot of work before that championship, so I think that was our biggest moment.
The victory in Copenhagen was one of the upsets of round 1 last year, as the Swedish duo comfortably took down a pair ranked 21 places above them. It was the first time they've won a match at a major tournament.
We brought our family and friends, and everyone was sitting and watching us, and to perform quite good there. It's a good feeling.
Before finding success with mixed doubles partner Jonathan Nord, Emilie Lennartson, now Fabrecha, after taking on her married name, was part of Sweden's best women's doubles pairing with Emma Wingberg.
We were playing for many years. Maybe we have a feeling that our top level was reached. So we started this relationship, and there were not that many good girls in Sweden, and I was a little bit tired of playing ladies double, and I wanted to try something new.
The mixed doubles duo were in the Lion City for the OUE Singapore Open recently, and Badminton Unlimited caught up with them to learn more about the partnership and the challenges of playing the sport in their country.
I think we started to play like 2.5 years ago. We played in the same club, so in the league in Sweden, we have to play together in that team matches. And it was successful. We win almost every match. And then we talk to each other and let's try in the bigger tournaments. And yeah, since then we have a great partnership.
Ranked 46th in the BWF World Rankings, Nord and Fabrecha possess the sort of work ethic synonymous with Swedish athletes. Hardworking, unyielding, and committed.
We never want to lose. We always want to win, and that's good.
I think it's the only way in Sweden, because if you look at Denmark, they have so many players, and every day they can practice together and get a lot out of it.
With ice hockey, football and handball the prevailing sports, badminton has a relatively low profile in the country. Though Sweden has an established club system, the standard of competitive badminton is still at a developmental stage. For Nord and Fabrecha, travelling long distances for training has become part of their routine. Based in Malmö, a city in the southern tip of Sweden, the pair travel nearly 700 kilometers to Uppsala on the east coast where the National Training Center is located. That's a 7-hour drive, 5 hours by train, or 45 minutes on the plane.
For maybe 1 year ago, they decided to move the national center to another city in Sweden. And Sweden is very big, so it's a lot of distance. So we decided to, right now, for the moment, to stay in Malmö, but we're still part of the national team.
With their home city on the doorstep of Denmark, the Swedish pair are able to make the 30 minutes train trip to Copenhagen, where they can tap into their neighbors' abundant badminton talents.
We go to Denmark as often as we can to practice I play in a Danish club as well, so they have a lot of players and it's good practice there. And then we try to go to Uppsala where the national center is now, and we have a new coach in Uppsala as well, a Danish Anders Christiansen. He was playing before, and we like him a lot, so I think we'll go there more and more, hopefully.
Unlike other players who have their sights set on qualifying for the Rio Olympics or medaling at major events like the World Championships, Jonathan and Emily are more focused on improving their game. For them, it's about honing their skills and becoming better players.
We have long-term goals, mostly because we're quite a new couple, and we are not that good right now that we want to be.
I mean, we really want to achieve our goals in maybe 4 to 6 years. So right now is like a long period of a lot of training, a lot of practice, and still we want to do good results at the tournaments, but we don't have these big, specific, short goals.
Despite the challenges faced, they are committed to badminton. The road to success may seem long and tough for the Swedish pair, but Jonathan Nord and Emily Fabrike have shown they are willing to go the distance to reach their goals. As the World Super Series returns after a mini break, we take a look at the standings as the players vie for a place at the season-ending Dubai World Super Series finals. This week, we take a look at the men's doubles. The Japanese pairing of Hiroyuki Endo and Kenichi Hayakawa sit on top of the pile after a season marked by consistency. The duo have reached the quarters 3 times and semis twice to stay just ahead of the pack. Denmark's Mathias Bo and Carsten Mogensen are just behind. The partnership triumphed at the Yonex All England Championships and reached 2 semi-finals. Despite their strong showing this term, their lack of tournament action has cost them points. Former world number ones Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan sit in 4th. The World Super Series started badly for the duo as they were eliminated early from the All England. But they bounced back in emphatic style as they took gold at the Maybank Malaysia Open. They reached the semis at the OUE Singapore Open and will be looking to continue their good form as the season progresses. China makes a first appearance in the rankings at number 5. Chai Piao and Hong Wei have had a roller coaster season thus far. Dumped out in the first round of the All England, they got back on track with a dominant win at the Yonex Sunrise India Open. But since then, their on-court prowess has trailed off as the year has gone on. Currently in 8th, the last place for qualification for Dubai are Taiwan's Li Shengmu and Tsai Chia-sin. This season has brought them 2 quarterfinals and a semi-final finish, but a lack of tournaments has cost the duo. Don't forget, the 2015 Dubai rankings are updated the Thursday after each World Super Series tournament. So log on to www.bwfworldsuperseries.com for the latest information. Let's find out what's happening on the international circuit with our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we find out about badminton development in the Seychelles and spend the day with New Zealand's legendary sporting couple, Jeff and Heather Robson.